The first time you see it, you don't just notice it. You feel it. Low to the ground. Wide. Aggressive. Almost like it's waiting for something. Waiting for you to press the throttle. Waiting to prove a point. Because the truth is, this isn't just another sports car. This is the Toyota Supra. And if you know, you know. This car doesn't need an introduction. It doesn't need hype. It doesn't need validation. Because long before social media, long before YouTube, long before car culture went mainstream, the Supra was already building its legacy. Quietly. Relentlessly. And then, it exploded. But here's the crazy part. This story isn't just about how the Supra became famous. It's about how it refused to stay dead. Let's go back. Before the fame. Before the orange paint. Before Hollywood turned it into a global icon. The Supra was just an idea. Back in the late 70s, Toyota wasn't trying to build a supercar. They weren't chasing Ferrari. They weren't chasing Lamborghini. They were chasing something different. Balance. A car that could cruise on the highway all day, but still had enough power to make your heart race when the road opened up. And slowly, generation by generation, the Supra started evolving. Getting sharper. Faster. More focused. Until one day, everything changed. The 1990s. This was the moment. This was when the Supra stopped being just another car and became a legend. It showed up with confidence. With purpose. With something to prove. And under the hood? That's where the magic lived. The 2JZ engine. Now listen, there are great engines, and then there are engines that rewrite the rules. The 2JZ didn't just perform. It dominated. Built like a tank. Engineered with insane precision. Overbuilt in a way that almost feels unnecessary until you realize what it's capable of. Because this wasn't just an engine you drive. This was an engine you push. Harder. Faster. Further. And every time you think you've reached the limit, it just keeps going. That's why tuners fell in love with it. That's why street racers respected it. That's why, decades later, people are still chasing what this engine can do. We're talking 4-digit horsepower builds. We're talking cars that can destroy supercars worth 10 times as much. We're talking about a machine that refuses to break. And that's rare. Because in the world of performance, power is easy. But reliability? That's legendary. And then, came the moment that changed everything forever. Hollywood. When the Supra showed up in The Fast and the Furious, that was it. Game over. That bright orange Supra didn't just steal scenes. It stole hearts. Suddenly, this car wasn't just popular among enthusiasts. It was everywhere. Posters. Video games. Street races. Car meets. It became the dream car for an entire generation. Kids who had never even driven before already knew one thing. Someday, I want a Supra. That's not normal. Cars don't usually do that. But the Supra did. And then, just like that, it disappeared. No big farewell. No dramatic ending. Toyota pulled the plug. Early 2000s, and the legend was gone. And for years, all we had were memories. And questions. Why did it end? Will it ever come back? Can anything ever replace it? And slowly, something interesting started happening. Instead of being forgotten, the Supra became even bigger. Prices went up. Demand skyrocketed. The legend grew stronger with time. Because when something is truly special, time doesn't erase it. It amplifies it. And then, after years of waiting, it happened. The comeback. The return of the Supra. The 5 Malawian Kwachas. And just like that, the internet exploded. But not everyone was celebrating. Because this time, things were different. Very different. The new Supra wasn't built alone. It shared its DNA with BMW. And instantly, the debate started. Is this even a real Supra? Is Toyota losing its identity? Is this just a rebadged BMW? And look, those questions are fair. But here's what most people miss. Legends don't repeat themselves. They evolve. Because the moment you actually drive the new Toyota Supra, everything changes. The engine? Turbocharged. Responsive. Aggressive in a way that feels modern, but still exciting. The acceleration? Instant. No hesitation. No waiting. Just pure forward motion that pins you back in your seat. And the handling? This is where it gets serious. Low center of gravity. Perfect balance. Tight, controlled steering that makes every corner feel like an opportunity. Not a challenge. An invitation. Because this car doesn't just go fast in a straight line. It loves corners. It wants you to push it. It wants you to trust it. And when you do, that's when it comes alive. Now let's talk about the design, because this thing doesn't whisper. It makes a statement. From the front, it looks sharp. Focused. Almost aggressive in the way it stares back at you. From the side, the proportions are perfect. Long hood. Compact rear. That classic sports car silhouette that never goes out of style. And the rear? Wide. Planted. Muscular. It looks like it's gripping the road, even when it's parked. This isn't a car you ignore. This is a car that demands attention. Step inside, and yeah, you'll notice the BMW influence. The controls. The infotainment. The layout. But here's the thing. It works. Everything feels solid. Premium. Well thought out. And more importantly, it feels driver-focused. This cockpit isn't about luxury for the sake of luxury. It's about control. Every button. Every dial. Every surface. It's all designed to keep you connected to the drive. Because that's what matters. And when you finally put your foot down, that's when you understand. This car isn't trying to be the old Supra. It's trying to be the next Supra. And honestly, it succeeds. Because at its core, the DNA is still there. Performance. Balance. Emotion. That feeling you get when the road opens up and for a split second, nothing else matters. That's the Supra. Now is it perfect? No. No car is. Some people will always prefer the raw, mechanical feel of the four Malawian Quachas. Some will never accept the BMW connection. And that's okay. Because the Supra was never about pleasing everyone. It was about creating something unforgettable. And it did that. Again. Because in a world where cars are becoming quieter, more electric, more automated, more disconnected. So whether you grew up watching it on a screen, or you're seeing it for the first time right now, one thing is certain. The Toyota Supra isn't going anywhere. Because legends don't fade. They evolve.